We are back. Turn this fan down a little bit so I can hear myself think. We're going to work out and we're going to chat today. I don't really have anything kind of crazy planned for this workout. I just want to chat and get a good quick workout in because I'm hungry. So we're going to do that. Today's topic is about the idea of being able to choose what you do in life and what things actually drive you in life and what you do in life. Because I'm under the impression through my own anecdotal evidence is that I don't know if we get to choose that in life. And I say that because there's just some things in life where I really want to like it. Certain books I really want to read, certain hobbies I really want to pick up, but I just never can pick up. I just never have that interest for it. And my thought is, if I can't force it, if I can't just pick up a book and just enjoy it, then maybe this idea of free will, of us being able to choose what we do in life, what we like to do in life, just isn't really there. It's not an actual thing. That whether it's through our upbringing, through genetics, whatever it is, that for some reason we don't get to choose what thing it is that drives us. Because it's just things in this world where when you think about what Mr. Beast put it perfectly, I think. And this has just stuck with me. He was asked about motivation, like discipline, and like what he gets up and does every day. And he says, I don't think about it. Like, he doesn't sit down and have to process his determination and his discipline, the motivation to get up and do what he does every day. That if he had to do all that, it wouldn't be what he was meant to do. Like the stuff all he does, he says, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm meant to do this. And whether that's your God, fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, he, in his core, in his soul, just knows himself that this is what he does. This is what he's supposed to be doing. Supposed to be doing. And he never has to think about like getting up and motivating himself to do something. He just does it. I've been working on this website for a company, for the family company that I work with him. And I'm, as a side project, I've been having to redesign our whole new website. And not many times I've ever sat down and thought, or had to consciously get myself to work to do it. I've never had to, like, I just enjoy it. I just sit down and I just do it. And I'm not saying there wasn't times where it's like, wow, I really don't want to do this today. But for the most part, I just did it because just something weird about it, whether it's the creativity or the things that can help it grow the business, where it was, I just enjoyed doing it every day. And even when I didn't enjoy it, I still was able to very easily get up and go do 5, 6, 7 hours of just website work. And I can't tell you because I don't even know why that is. I'm unable to tell you if it was my genetics, my upbringing, if it was playing for this or that. I can't tell you. All I know is that it's just something that when I started doing it, I just easily do. For example, like I always struggle with the idea of making a lot of money. Of I want to make a lot of money and I want to have great things for myself and my family, but I had this a lot of this. I just have this passionate burnout to make all this money and work really hard and build a big business. And maybe that's society and culture and social media and the Alex Hormoz that they're like making me. I'm telling myself that I should be doing this because they're doing it or whatever it is. And I think that is at play there. But for some reason, as much as I say I just want a simple life, like maybe it's the simple things of just getting rid of all the wants that you have in life and just focusing on what you do actually have and what you are getting in life, and then just making the most of that instead of always wanting. You know, if you're always I'm always wanting, I never get to enjoy it enough. Anyways, that's a different discussion. I'm just this whole idea of I've been thinking a lot about it because trying to figure out what I want to do in life, what I want to do with this life, because I'm only I turned 26 in 22 days, and that's still super young. But it's also not the idea of I still have so much time on my head. I can still take my time. No, it's I have a son. I have another son on the way. He's gonna be born the next month. That's wild. I have another son born the next month, and thinking about who do I need to be for them, and how can I be the person, the man that I need to be for them. It's something that sometimes overpowers my want for contentment and allows my ambition to keep going. You know, my recent video touches that subject. It's just a lot of things that I'm just thinking about right now, and a little bit of a rant, and that's the point of these videos. I never wanted them to be edited and cropped and edited in the way of fancy, nail like clickbaity BS. I just want to be straight, authentic, and raw. There might be clips that I just cut. That's just because I'm either standing here doing nothing, or I'm just lifting, or I'm resting, or I'm not talking. And the whole point, you didn't come sit here and watch this video because you want to sit there and watch me do this. Sit there and watch me just stand here and be quiet. You want to watch 20 minutes of that? I don't. So there will be cutting in that sense, but that's really the only editing and cutting I really want to do ever. I don't want these conversations to be anything. I'm sorry, my drawers are just messing with me. They are. Yeah, I never wanted any of this to be, because this is real. Me stumbling over my words, me trying to figure out my mind, like this is authentic and real. I may not grow as fast as other people who use all the thumbnail clickbaity BS. I'm not gonna grow as fast as them, but my audience that does want to surround themselves with me, they're gonna stay around for a long time because they know what you see is how I act with other people. Like this is who I am. Like this is how I talk to other people. So, this is the title of this video is probably gonna be, finding your calling, authenticity, not, always wanting more. There's some kind of. I want my titles to be as best of explanatory as possible without giving away what it's going to be, and maybe that's the definition of clickbait, is that you don't tell exactly what the video is going to be about. You kind of dangle a little piece of what the video might be in the title to then draw people in. So maybe I am doing clickbait. Who knows? But one more set, and then we got back squats. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Also one thing I've been kind of thinking about, like with my training and everything, just I love working out. I do. I love the feel you get from it. And I love getting in shape and doing all that stuff. But also a lot of it is, I'm a big, as you can probably tell, I'm a big purpose guy. Like, there's got to be a reason why that's behind why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if there's not, I aggressively question what I am doing. And maybe to some that's not a good thing. Maybe to others, it's like, wow, you really are present and you think about this stuff. Like, for example, I just set up these pegs wrong. That's okay. But, just trying to find some kind of something that just really gives my training purpose. The days that I don't want to work out and the days that I have a hard time going to work out, having that competition that's sitting on my back that I have to go make sure I'm ready for is what I need to really do my best. And I don't know what that will be. I have a feeling, and we're going to talk about that, of what that thing could be, whether it's endurance, strength, power, whatever it is. A guy named Tim Riley, I think his name is, he's hosting this new kind of idea of a thing called Apex. And it's really intriguing to me, trying to maybe seeing what it's all about. It's really, 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 really intriguing to me because, excuse me, as a former college athlete, my training was all about football. It was all about preparing my body and ultimately my mind for the game that would come on Saturday. And it gave my training a lot of purpose, and it made the training easy to do. Like, I had to justify the reason. I had a why. Viktor Frankl said, if a man has a big enough why, he can bypass almost any what. He can bypass any struggle, any hardships, anything. He can get past it all if he has a big enough why. And I think I'm now realizing about myself is that I don't have a big enough why, because in my mind, maybe just only training for my only personal fitness health, this isn't a big enough why for me, obviously. Otherwise, I'd be in better shape by now. But here we are, and I'm not in bad shape, but I'm not in the shape that I want to be in. I have a pretty good physique, and not even physique. Geez, that word. In the aesthetic ways, but just in the functional ways. Like, can I lift this heavy thing if I need to in my work or in my daily life, or can I? I'm carrying a 60-pound bucket up couple flights of stairs, can I do it without being absolutely gassed out of my brain? Or can I sprint and be athletic with my kids, or when I'm playing a sport with my friends or something, you know, can I do all that? And I can, but I can to the extent of the next day I will be feeling it pretty good. And I'm not saying that I want to get to the point to where no amount of physical exertion doesn't fatigue me. I'm just saying I want to get to the point to where I'm not as fatigued. Like I can still handle it, and not also handle it the next day, but also perform to a standard of my own at a high level in my own self. So that's what I'm going with that. Apex is kind of fun. It sounds very interesting, but also, you know, it sounds like, you know, you could do your 40-yard dash, you do your broad jump, vertical jump, overhead med ball, toss, doing it backwards. You got your trap bar deadlift, you're doing it for reps, your bench press, you're doing it for reps, and then you run a mile. My only problem was this, and maybe that's why CrossFit was so popular, was that CrossFit, it was always kind of changing things up. Apex, it's always, you know, unless Tim Riley's going to change up the competition soon. I mean, like, and it's only been, hasn't been around for maybe a year or two, if that. You know, already I'm thinking, you know, you do a couple of competitions and people might start getting bored. And that's something that I'm not even in it yet, and I can see myself doing it. But that's also me being like, am I just creating that as a reason to not do it? Maybe. I have that tendency. You know, this weight used to be something I'd rep out. And so it's something that to me, it's something to get better at. But yeah, you know, the Tyler's video will probably be about maybe your purpose is out of your control, or your purpose is out of your control, and possibly competing in the Apex events in the future. You know, something like that. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, quick workout. Try and get back in shape. Gonna finish up these squats. Got about 2 more sets. And yeah, so deuces.